Hey guys, it's Jimmy here and welcome back to rFactor 2 for another video. This time we're at Longford for a sneak peek at the AC Cobra 427 that is coming to rFactor 2 very soon. I've been very fortunate to get my hands on it early, and guys, we need to talk about this car because it is awesome. I'm in love. It's, well, okay, let me explain this to you quickly. I have a list of 3 cars in my life that I would die to own / drive. One is a Ford GT Mark 1, second one is an Audi S1 Quattro rally car, Group B one, and 3 is the AC Cobra. And look, I get to drive it in the sim, which is the next best thing, and yeah, it is fantastic, and I don't know, I need to talk about it more. I am driving, there are 2 versions to drive from. I am driving the SC version, which is a semi-competition version. There's also a competition version, which is a little bit quicker. This one's a little bit slower, but I like it better. And loads of colours to choose from, but I had to go with the iconic blue and white stripe, because why wouldn't you when driving a Cobra, right? I'm also racing on the street tyres, because I like to go sideways very much, and you'll be seeing a lot of that in this video. So let's change down to the old cockpit view. That's not the one there. There it is. And we'll just start her up. There we go. Listen to the V8 on that. Love it, mate. And we'll try and do a semi-fast start on cold road tyres, shall we? So let's build some revs and go. And of course, we have the wheel spin for days. Still wheel spinning, and into second gear. A little bit of wheel spin in second. We're okay now into third gear. And yeah, Longford, one of my favourite tracks to test historic cars at, because it's basically just one big straight with little corners in. Very fast to do right and very scary to do wrong, so I'm going to take it a little bit easy at first, coming down to the end of the sort of first section now, going to second gear, and very carefully feeding it in there, and just watching out for these bars on the left. This car requires patience to drive. It's a very fast car in a straight line, as you can see now, just getting the throttle again, looking for the marker, just about 200s when we're going to brake for this corner. Down into first gear, locking up the tyres a little bit, don't want to be doing that, and then trying to put it inside there. And tremendous power off the corners, but you have to be careful with it, it will bite you. Over the railway tracks, I love that bit. And look at this, I love the sense of speed you get for Longford, just see watching the trees whiz by either side. Now this is a corner that's probably going to bite me. You have to brake super early for it, or if you don't make it. I'm trying to find the marker, it's on the left. Oh, there is like a field you go into, there it is, so we're going to brake now, just to be sure. Down into third, being a bit cheeky with the gears, down to second and down to third. I am using the rev match option. There's an option to rev match, so I'm having to heel toe on the way down, which is, adds to that level of immersion into third gear. I love the power of this thing. It's so brutal, but so stupid at the same time. It's stupid power, the best kind of power. I think probably the most difficult part of the course, this bit. Doesn't say much for the course, does it? And now we get to go. Oh, just watching out for that bank on the left there. This is second gear, this is. Wheel spinning in second gear. This is all flat now, up into third gear, and we'll hit fourth in a second. I love the way this drives, I really do. You have to really take care of it on the throttle. It will bite. You saw coming up the hill there, I was in second gear, and it still wanted to spin out on me. Now I'm really looking for a marker on the right now. This is the tightest corner of the circuit. We come into it going at the fastest speed, of course. I'm going to brake here just to be sure I make it. Okay, it is the video after all. I don't want to crash in the video. There it is, nice and tight, so it'll come off. And round we go. Nice and heavy on the steering at low speed. And then punch it! Wheel spin, and again. Oh no, I missed a gear. Into third. And into fourth gear. We're doing like 150 miles an hour or so around now. We need to brake a little bit for the first corner because we're going to start eking out. We're going to start winding her up a bit now, showing her what she can do, even on the old street tyres. Down into third gear, bringing the corner, and now braking in a straight line. Down into first gear, just to be nice and gentle. Feeding her in. This is very lazy at the front. You use the back to bring her around, and on the throttle again. Second gear. Oh, the power is a bit too much for me there. Into third over the little bridge. Got to be careful of the hump. There it is. There's another one coming into the braking zone up here. Into 200 metre board. There's the hump. Car getting a bit out of shape. Down to first gear. I'm trying to get the back to come round as quick as I can. And over the railroad tracks one more time. There it is. Whee! Again, power for the trees. Now, up until this point, I think the best Cobra I've driven in a sim has probably been either from the Historics mod in rFactor 1, or there was a mod in
a Assetto Corsa before it became the Assetto Corsa version. That actually felt better there. But I think this quite easily takes the cake. You know, you feel like you sit on those big rear tyres as you come out of corners. You can feel the back just plant itself. There you go. I much prefer this one to the AC version at this point. I love how it bites you. It wants to bite you all the time. It isn't stupid difficult though. If you give it the time and the patience, it's alright. As I clip the fence there, luckily I've turned damage off for my own sake, eh? Whoa, baby. Come on. Second gear again, just riding those rear tyres as they light up behind me. Ride them into the sunset, baby. Oh man. Oh, the car just slides. There's no downforce this thing. It's just a coupe. It's just power and wheels and fuel all around you. So you rely. All the grip is mechanical, and with something of this much power and just no know-how to it, pretty much, it's just brilliant trying to slide through the corners again, braking a bit early for this one, but I like to get through it because it's just a big tree, and oh, she doesn't like low speed. Trying to get on the power early, but you can see just how difficult it is out the corners. You know, we're riding around, I imagine 400, 500 horsepower, that sort of bracket, and the thank you for that, spotter guy, and you really feel that coming out of the corners, especially on these street tyres. There's not much grip on them. And again, just shifting down to third before I think about straightening her up for the braking at the bottom here. Longford is a brilliant track. Longford is available to download from the rFactor 2 download section. It's actually a third-party mod, but they brought it into the game, which is very good, isn't it? Displayed it on their page. Good to see people doing that. I know Formula Studios do that, and it'd be good if rFactor could follow suit in that aspect. Oh, I'm thinking a bit late for that. Oh, I've just caught up my braking. Just about kept her going. The car very nervous at the rear, even with all that the weight and the power. Well, it just doesn't weigh this much, this thing. When you combine it with all that horsepower, you have a fantastic result. We get up to about 165 along here, I think. Around that sort of area, we have to brake. I can't even see my speedo, but I can see the rev counter, and it's screaming at me. Change up, I've got no more gears, I can't. Right on the edge of locking the tyres there. You see just getting it into the corner and on the way out again, powering. But this thing is fantastic fun. I was driving here for a while before I started to record, just to get good at it, and I was driving for at least an hour. Wow! I say that as I crash into that before I started recording, just to get, just to having fun. It's nice to just do that in a sim, to sit back and do laps. You'd thought I'd be better at it by now, but hey ho, not quite, eh? Oh, the power! I love all the power. I'm such a big fan of American muscle cars. I get kind of joked at by my friends to say I'm a closet American, and I can see why they think that sometimes. I am two of my three favourite cars in the world are American, and the other one's stupidly fast anyway. Let's try and brake there. It's one of those cars that you have to brake super early, so if you make a mistake in the braking zone, you know about it all the way in. You can't use much of the brake because it just locks. It's old style brakes. We'll do one more lap, just for me, I think. Over the line again. Let's see if we can really do a good lap this time. I'm gonna... Oh, riding the grass on the outside. Keep it together, Jimmy, keep it together. Third gear, using the power in. You can hear how hard I'm having to work on the shifter and on the wheel. It's such a good experience. Riding first gear a bit too long though, missing second. Now snatching third as we go over the bridge one more time. And fourth, looking for that 200 metre ball. There it is just before. Ride the gap. Oh, I've got a wheel in the grass. That isn't going to end well. Just punch the microphone. Oh, I'm sorry, I've hit someone's house. That's what happens when you try too hard, eh? Couldn't resist it, sorry. We'll finish the lap. Oh, one of the best features of this this car so far. Love it. Love it, mate. Here I come. Get some... Ah! if you get on the power, if you really shift fast between first and second, you just carry the wheel spin into second gear and you're sitting there gaining speed, just wiggling at the back, and it's such a fantastic experience, I must say. Again, looking for that yellow board on the right. Oh, sugar, there it is. We're going in the field. We're going in the field. Oh, are we? Oh, locking the brakes all the way into the braking zone and just made it in. These things are so dangerous. I love it. I love it. Need to not be as aggressive in there. Locking the brakes in the way, but keeping it going on the power. That's how you do it in a Cobra. You steer with your right foot. Understeers a bit at the front, but that's sort of to be expected. Love just chucking it into gear. Fourth, and it almost feels mechanical, even though it's the same shifter I use every day. It somehow feels different in this car. Right, let's see how late we can brake. We'll brake halfway after the 400 metre board, which is on the right. 170 mile an hour, pretty well, 175 or so maybe. There's the ball, braking as late as we dare. Down to third, down to second, down to first. We've made it good. I actually braked really heavy there, and the brakes responded. It seems after a couple of laps they come alive, which is nice. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the AC Cobra 427 coming to rFactor 2 very soon. Definitely keep a lookout for it because it is fantastic fun. This is great. I've had such a great time driving it, and I hope you can appreciate that from my reactions of the driving there. But I imagine there'll be a link up on the on rFactor 2/downloads in a couple of days' time. I'll put a link to that in the description. And if you want to try out this in the meantime, Longford, there are other cars that have come out in RF2, like the Houston, which is a similar sort of like power house of an old style American car. So go give that a go and go drive Longford because it's great fun. Thank you for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit subscribe so you can be notified of future videos. Yeah, thanks again and have an awesome day.